course, you are a comedy icon now.
No, I walked in and Miles is repping the Eagles gear, so I was cool with that.
Yeah, you felt right at home?
Yes, I did. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously you do stand-up. You've made this incredible career as a comedian, also toured internationally as well, and you do the warm-up thing, which is really quite a great career to have as well.
Yeah, that's been over 30 years of doing television warm-ups. First show was A Different World, so that was incredible because, warm-up for a long time before the Cosby Show and A Different World came on, it was dominated by older white men who were doing the warm-ups because the makeup of the audience was white people who came to see, or Europeans, I don't know which one to say. The Europeans come to see the tapings of television shows. And then when the Cosby Show came and A Different World came, those guys were kind of out of sync.
Right.
And it didn't match up. So they hired, I think they hired Sinbad first, A Different World, and then they hired Don Reed. And then those two ended up on the Cosby Show. And then I got hired by Thad Mumford, rest in power, Thad Mumford, producer. And then I found that niche, and I was like, because I was in line with all the other great comics, Martin Lawrence and all of them, and I decided that Chris Tucker, that it was such a long line of comedians who cursed, I just said, let me look at the line where they're not cursing, and that was Dr. Cosby and Sinbad. So I jumped in that line and then just carved out a niche. And, you had great pay, great benefits. So I said, okay, I can do that and still be an artist and raise my family. So that worked out. And I decided I'd be the best warm-up. And then it's been paying off.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when you say it's been paying off, what do you mean by that?
Paying off in the sense of I've been able to make a living.
Which is always a good thing.
Yes.
It's amazing how many people in Hollywood that you think are making a living actually are not.
Right. And I was able then to be around the kids and then coach basketball or football and just live a life of understanding of myself in this game called the art, and not fight these demons that you end up having to fight, like, why am I not here? Why am I not there? Why don't I have that? And that usually stems from not being able to take care of yourself or your family and call yourself an artist.
Yeah, that makes sense because, that pressure, right?
Yeah, and then you have, allows you to walk into a room with confidence and still just be yourself.
And do what you love for a living.
Yes. That's why whenever I shake an older man's hand, even though I'm older now, they always say, what do you do? Your hand's so soft. And I was like, well, all I do is hold a microphone. So, yeah. But I've enjoyed it. And I've enjoyed it. And it's funny now because when I was listening on the way here, that we lost another Isley brother. And I was just thinking that, when you're talking about the mainstream media, the fact that they'll probably have Tito Jackson's picture up saying that's, because they just don't have a clue.
Yeah, that is probably correct. It happens all the time. Yeah. Happened to me the other day, but we won't go into that.
Oh, but thank you for the invite, first of all.
Yeah, I always love having you in, and it's funny because we've been talking for so many years. I mean, you were on Front Page when I was on that show. Mm-hmm. You were on Street Signs. Like, I think you've been on all my radio shows.
Yes, and I appreciate that. We go way back.
I appreciate it too. We go way back. Yeah,
and it was funny. You're saying that you sometimes you might make a mistake and you're not perfect. I was like, no, she is. What's wrong with these people?
Yeah, right. Thanks.
Thanks for
Oakland.
Thanks for Oakland is
perfect. In my head.
Oakland is perfect.
Yeah, right. It's perfectly Oakland. I know that.
There you go.
It's perfectly Oakland.
I mean, if you line it up, there's some great people that have stepped out of Oakland.
For sure.
I mean, without a doubt.
Sure. I love my roots in the Bay, even though I've been claimed by LA, and I love that too. But I think in all these years we've been talking, you never painted the picture quite like you painted it today about how when you stepped into that space, it was mostly older white men, which makes sense. I just never thought about it because I'm associating you with Cosby, A Different World, and all those, fabulous black sitcoms, which weren't always there. Yeah. And so I never thought about you actually being a pioneer in that way. I just thought, Lewis is great at this, so he does it.
Yeah, and we have, it's some great guys. Alex Thomas is another one that's really talented, and it's a niche. You have to enjoy it because it's 4 hours of talking. Unless you're doing a talk show.
Sounds familiar.
Well, yeah, and then once that bell rings, you have to just stop and then get back on that horse. So, and I've been really, Chris Spencer was the guy that got me the opportunity to do the Mark Twain Awards. So when you're able to go back and forth, go to the Kennedy Center, then go to the Image Awards. You feel really like, okay, I can do both.
I'm living this life.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, too, because it seems like you do. I mean, comedians remind me a little bit of rappers in the sense that they got beef and stuff. And like I didn't realize this until I did the conscious comedy. Like, comedians are edgy when they're, a lot of them, when they're not on stage. Like, they're haha funny, but then and you seem like you have great relationships with a lot of them.
Well, because I'm older, and a lot of them, they think I have this arrogant attitude, which I probably do, because again, I was walking in my lane. I figured out my lane, so I wasn't in the hustle tussle that they were in, trying to do clubs and all that, because I had a profession. So I was always working. So we're just competitive. We're like athletes. We all think we're funny, which we are. And then now it's taken it's gone to a whole nother level of beefing, where when I started, it was more, we were together. We were always helping each other. Robin Harris taught us that. You would watch a friend of yours, a comedian, and then you would give him a punchline or say, hey, you should put that. So it wasn't as much infighting as it is now. And if you didn't like someone, you told them. You're like, yo, man, I don't like him, man. I don't mess with him. I have one friend, Jeff Arnold, that I've been friends with for over 30 years, and that's who you see me with.
Right.
And but there are people who I'm finding out now that there are a lot of people who like me and respect me. We were doing the Image Awards, and I'm walking by in the hallway, and Dave Chappelle's like, hey, Lou, what's up? So I say hi, and then he says, hey, come watch me tonight. I'm coming down. And I was like, okay. And then I told my boy Jeff, let's go. And I said, nah, first of all, I don't know if I'm going to really be on the list. Because, I didn't really think that I was in Dave's contact. He said, I'll text you the information. And it popped on my phone. And I was like, because it's a lot of comedians like D.L. Hughley that's in my phone. And I only text them to say, Happy Father's Day, Christmas, or New Year's. That's the only communication I really have with them.
Right.
And Damon Wayans, congratulations to Wayne and his family that got that award. So the Hall of Fame award for the NAACP. And now they're saying the NAACP.
Right.
They're not saying the NAACP. Do you know why that is?
I have no idea. Maybe they're getting ready to change. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But it's funny you would say that, because that's how I felt. I did Greenlight Women Awards this past weekend, and I met the iconic Jane Kennedy, who I hadn't met before. And she said it's high time we met. And then her kids told me they would listen to us in the car. And I was so bowled over by that, because like, she is one of the people that has opened doors for Black women and for women in broadcasting. And she's just so supremely talented. It shocked me. I wasn't expecting
it. It really
that.
is a kind of full circle compliment when the great ones, talk to you, or like and a lot of people don't understand it. Like, usually on Tuesdays, later on in the day, I'll get a phone call and it'll say unknown caller, and it'll be, it'll be Dr. Cosby, and we'll talk comedy, we'll talk life, and it's just been, I love him, so it's a journey of conversations with him, and of trying to get a better understanding of what to do and what not to do, which I take upon myself right away anyway.
Interesting.
So, yes.
I want to hear more about those conversations. And I know you have some tidbits from the NAACP Awards, tidbits and opinions.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Hold that thought. We're doing a tease right now, Lewis. We want them to stay with us. Tease, Lewis Dix, tease. Lewis Dix about to spill some tea, maybe on the NAACP Awards, or drop some knowledge. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. Who cares about the Black community in Altadena? We do. On Saturday, March 8th at 10 a.m., it's the premiere of Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr. This new weekly show will explore the deep roots and resilience of Altadena's Black community as we track its recovery and reimagine its future. From relief efforts to rebuilding, we're raising up voices, stories, and solutions to build back Black Altadena better and stronger than ever. It's Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr, every Saturday at 10 a.m. beginning Saturday, March 8th, with an encore presentation, Sundays at noon.
James Farr, the man who is the voice for Black Los Angeles.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-9651.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-550-9651. That's 800-550-9651.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 rising from payroll, platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Lewis Dix is my guest, and Lewis, I don't want to forget and just cram this in at the last minute. You have a podcast. If people want to hear you all the time and just not wait for you to show up at KBLA, they can do what?
On every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., me and a bunch of my friends, TDP, Speedy, we allow him to come on, Jeff Arnold, and we do over at Morris Media Studios, we do a podcast on, and it's called In a Man's World. And we talk about things that men want to talk about, and we're pretty... I guess some people would say crass or mean, or we're just honest. You know, if you're listening, we're just, our friend Jeff lost his dad 5 years ago, and we still kid him about that. Speedy lost his son, and but we try to find the humor and the seriousness of things. And my daughter, our third daughter who passed, my buddy Jeff says he has her on his mantle in the urn, and if I want to come visit her, so he's pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, we go there.
Wow, you guys. Whoa, I love that you guys support my girl, the poetess, too. In a Man's World is supporting a woman's business.
Yeah, she's the boss lady. So that's always you think there's men behind it, but there's always a strong woman directing you. You know, if you got any sense, you'll have someone that knows what they're doing. You know, I mean, because, nowadays, I mean, there are a lot of men who know what they're doing, like Miles, but he's into it. You know, Miles is so funny. He's got his hair braided. I just love young people, man. They're so, especially the ones that are focused.
Right.
The raggedy ones.
Of which there are many, by the way.
Yes.
Quiet as it's kept. But you don't need to do a podcast. You just do that because you feel like it.
Yeah, it gives us something to do, and it allows us to release and talk, and we found a little niche audience who likes to hear us, and we have a lot of young guys who listen, and they feel like they're listening to their uncles or their dads who they've never seen or have interacted with.
So people can find it on the Morris Media site. You find it on your
YouTube,
site.
all the major sites. I guess what is it? I don't know, the different streams.
Spotify and
yes,
all those,
yes.
wherever you get your podcast.
Yeah, In a Man's World. Yeah, Lewis Dix and Friends. And none of those guys are really my friends, but you have to say that. It works under that umbrella.
Lewis Dix and Friends. Yeah, Lewis Dix and Frenemies doesn't have the same ring to it.
No,
not at all.
Truth
How long
tellers.
have you guys been doing that?
Man, I was told for about 10, 15 years. That's what I was told. I don't remember. I mean, I'm at that age where, it's like, okay, I get up and go to the restroom 4 times a night now. It's great. I enjoy getting up, thank God. to get up. And there's a lot of people aren't getting up, but certain things are becoming reality of now I'm using more Vaseline than lotion,
Oh, Lord.
I know. And someone told me you're not supposed to use Vaseline.
Right. I didn't want to lecture you on the
No,
air.
you're not. No, help me out. But
Vaseline is a petroleum product. It's the same thing we put in our cars. So it's not good for your skin.
So at least that's why I get this. I start up right
yeah,
away.
Start right up. Yeah, you do.
So
Yeah.
all right, then what should I use?
Shea butter, baby.
Okay, so all right, shea butter's in the house, but I don't see
butter.
myself putting shea butter on.
Okay, why? Just because of the name, or
Yes, because of the name.
there's songs written about it?
That ignorance of that. Okay, so
So
I should
we need
use
manly
shea
shea. Well, there's manly shea butter. If you go right over here to Lamert Park, you can find some manly, like shea butter with a manly name and scent to it.
Okay,
I'm sure.
I'll try shea butter.
I mean, or coconut oil, but some people don't like that because it doesn't stay on as well as people like Vaseline because it stays on through thick and thin.
Yes, and
like,
we were raised
like a plastic coating.
So our parents didn't know that?
Our parents didn't know that.
Because we couldn't go out the house unless
without
we put on Vaseline
all over your face.
And,
yeah, but it's actually petroleum product. And it's not good for the human body system.
Okay.
Anyway, I digress. But shea butter stays on really long, like Vaseline too.
Right.
So
all right, I'll next time.
Now I know what to get you for your birthday, Lewis.
Next time I will.
Manly shea butter.
I will step up.
It's still so popular. Look, Miles got the manly shea butter right there.
Yeah, I've seen that. Okay.
The manly shea butter
Shout
right there.
Shout out to Jody who uses shea butter. Okay, that you use that?
You got it on right now, yes sir.
Next gen.
I got you for the break, man.
Next
all right,
gen.
thank you. All right.
Yeah. The thing is that these traditions die hard. A lot of black people still use petroleum jelly on their bodies.
Well, right. This morning I had a little tummy thing, and of course I went and got the black medicine, which is ginger ale.
Yeah. Well, that ginger ale isn't bad. I mean, it may have some ginger in it, which is actually really good for your stomach.
Okay, but that's what
the sugar, not so much. But
what about Vicks Vapor Rub?
I mean, it works.
Okay, I'm just little things that I have in my cabinet. I'm gonna go through.
Yeah, you can keep the.
What shouldn't you have in your cabinet?
Well, Vaseline for one.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. It's a big thing. I'm glad I got it on sale.
Well, I'm an anti-pharmaceuticals type girl, so I will, if I can have the herb rather than the pharmaceutical, I'll do that. Like I have Tums, but I'm probably not going to take them. I'd be more likely to take the activated charcoal, or have some ginger tea, or some mint tea, something like that. So I don't really like having any pharmaceutical type products, but I will have them for emergencies. I have Dr. Goss's little book of herbs, and whenever something's wrong with me, I go to the natural formula first.
So that's what we should get first, is the book.
I think so.
Okay. And what's the name of the book?
I don't even know. You can get it at New Body Herbs in Compton. You can get it at Simply Wholesome. You can get it New Body Herbs online. It's Dr. Paul Goss. It's a really thin book.
I used to get the black soap at Simply Wholesome.
Oh, yeah, the black soap is good.
Now, the black toothpaste, is that good too?
Well, I haven't tried it yet, but theoretically it is, because it has the activated charcoal, which would draw toxins out of your teeth and gums.
Okay. Now, I hear sometimes...
No, it doesn't?
It doesn't.
I tried it a couple years ago. It's a little too rough for your teeth.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I remember that when your teeth got real sensitive.
Yeah, it takes it mess up the enamel on your teeth sometimes. So be careful with the black toothpaste.
No, I've never used it.
Be careful.
Someone gave it to me.
I haven't tried it either. Baking soda is probably more what I would use if you want to whiten your teeth and purify.
Got it. And I definitely want to purify myself.
Yeah, you got to. Well, we all got to do that. We all got to do that. So you were at the NAACP Awards.
Yes, the 56th annual. Now, I thought a couple people said, hey, you're supposed to say NAACP, not NAACP.
Right.
So I had to keep going back out to say that.
But, but that was important because you were actually part of the show.
Right. Yeah, I did the warm, and it was incredible. I mean, shout out to Reginald Hudlin and Byron Phillips and Warren, who hired me. And it was, I mean, it's such an eclectic. Is that the right word? When there's so many different people.
Eclectic.
Clifton Davis was there, who's 79.
Wow.
I mean, he looks 69. I mean,
no way.
I mean,
you're wrong for that.
No, I mean, he looks incredible. I mean, because he's on that new soap opera, Beyond the Gates, and just to see all those beautiful people. Lena Waithe was there. She was giving me great energies. Shannon Sharp, who was nominated for Entertainer of the Year, but I told him he wasn't going to win. You know,
why would you tell him that?
Because, one, for a laugh, and two, because he wasn't. He was up against Keke Palmer, Kendrick Lamar. I was like, you're not gonna beat those people. I mean, you know. And Deion Cole was incredible as the host. He told Shannon that he needs to find clothes that fit because there are a lot of eighth grade middle school boys who have nothing to wear. That was hilarious. Kerry Washington was beautiful. She won, and that movie that she did on Netflix was won, and she thought she forgot to thank Tyler Perry, and she interrupted Beyond the Gates when they were about to speak, and she said, "Oh, I forgot to thank Tyler Perry," and everyone said, "No, you did," and she said, "Oh, okay," and then I went up after her and said, "That's, you know, Tyler Perry has a lot of power when you didn't even thank your mother or father, Kerry. You thanked Tyler Perry." But yeah, so that was it was a great night. Well,
tell me. Okay, we have enough time. Okay, so we were arguing, me and our newest host here, James Farr, on yesterday about the vice president's speech. He felt that she was remiss for not mentioning Altadena, and it would have been nice. I felt that she's still recovering from a highly traumatic historical moment, and she's probably setting her sights on whatever she's going to do next. How did you see that?
Well, first of all, it was seeing her live well, of course, you know, they cut off certain places you can't walk. And of course, me being a comedian, tried to walk that way because I didn't know. And then all these guys like, no. And then like, okay, when you see like 6 white guys at the Image Awards, you're like, okay, they must be here protecting someone. And so she sat in the front. And when she came in the commercial break. And the audience went crazy. They all stood up, and I was on mic, and I was like, oh, hey, here's our vice president. Then I had to catch myself. It was like, and then I said, you know what? You still our vice president.
I mean, we call President Clinton. We call President Lincoln. He'd been dead for how long?
Right. Like, but sometimes whenever I went to public school, whenever you try to want to say, okay, I hope I'm saying the right thing.
Right, exactly, for sure.
So she sat down, her husband, she waved, and then we said, I had the DJ play Yay Area, E40, you know, but all the people ran to her, you know, and I'm like, hey, guys, come on, sit down. She got Secret Service. And then I almost said, but I caught myself, if all of you had ran to the polls that way, she would have won. That's what I wanted to say, but I didn't. And then
that would have been tempting.
Yeah, that would have. So they finally backed off, but they showed her so much love, and it was I could see where she was overwhelmed trying to say the right thing. You know, and I hope she runs for governor. I think that's on the.
Yeah, you would like to see her run for governor rather than take another shot at president in 20.
Because, you know, I mean, Gavin's going to try to do his thing. You know, I mean, it's funny how it's kind of like Barack and her, like how Fox was when it first started, when they had Martin and all the black sitcoms, just to become a major network. You know, they stood on our shoulders, and then boom, no other black shows on. You know, these networks, you know, like that CW and all that. All those started with the Wayans brothers. And all that. So same thing. But she was, I mean, she's so dynamic. You know, I mean, when you meet these people in person, you're just like, wow, you know. And then when she was backstage, when she was leaving, it's funny how all the the people of power, the producers, want to get a photo, want to say that, touch her. They want to touch her, and that must be overwhelming when you know, she's like a star athlete.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, so she was
as a politician. Yeah. Well, I tend to agree. I would love to see her as, you know, it's tough though because there's great people running against her, but I think that kind of makes sense for her to become the first black woman governor and take on this president from her home base. Yeah. We've got news, traffic, and sports right here. Then more with comedian Lewis Dix on KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. The Trump administration may eliminate U.S. Africa Command, moving it under European Command to reduce bureaucracy and withdraw troops from Africa. Some officials warn this could create a vacuum for Russia or China. Responses to the email asking federal workers to list their accomplishments will be analyzed by AI to determine job necessity. Elon Musk stated that failure to respond would be considered a resignation. Senator Ted Cruz is subpoenaing the Massachusetts Port Authority for documents on sheltering migrants at Boston Logan Airport, calling it reckless and offensive. Lawmakers say this violated FAA grant conditions, leading to a policy change in July 2024. And Lester Holt will leave NBC Nightly News this summer to return to a full-time role with Dateline. NBC has not announced his replacement. This follows news that MSNBC will end Joy Reid's weekday evening show. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The CONCACAF Nations League finals arrive at SoFi Stadium March 20th to 23rd. USA versus Panama, followed by Canada versus Mexico. Get your tickets now on Ticketmaster. For more information, visit CONCACAFNationsLeague.com/tickets.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It's going to be an emotional night tonight for Lakers star Luka Doncic. First game for Doncic against his former team, the Dallas Mavericks, tonight at Crypto.com. Doncic played his first 6 seasons in the NBA with the Mavericks before he was traded to the Lakers on February 8th for Anthony Davis. This will be AD's first game against the Lakers since the trade, although he won't be in a Mavericks uniform. AD will be on the bench in street clothes. He's recovering from a strained abductor muscle. AD has played only 3 quarters for the Mavericks. In 4 games with the Lakers, Doncic is averaging 19 points and 5.8 assists. 7 p.m. tip-off tonight. If you don't have a ticket, you can catch the game live on TNT. The UCLA women's basketball team moved up to number 2 in this week's Associated Press Top 25 poll. Texas is number 1. USC is 4th. UCLA and USC are a combined 51-3. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Life blooms in beautiful ways. The Afia Center invites you to celebrate At the End with Red Gala, honoring the strength and resilience of Black women living with HIV. Join us for an evening of empowerment as we launch the Barbara Cambridge Scholarship and kick off Herstory Month with our theme, Life in Full Bloom. Your support helps create vital HIV programming and builds a future where every voice is heard and every story matters. The End with Red Gala, because every flower deserves to bloom.
To learn more and to donate, visit theafiacenter.org.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
Lewis Dix is here. He's a comedian. He's got a long track record. If you don't know, just Google it. As I always say now, just Google it.
Isn't that funny how you can? That's how you know if somebody's birthday is. Oh, it's your birthday. Oh, you go to Facebook and it tells you.
You're good about birthdays and holidays and all that stuff. Like you said, you just text the comedians Happy Father's Day. You don't be asking them for stuff. And
yeah, now I what I do is when someone I care about, I put their birthday in my phone, and then I put it on my calendar and it pops up, so I can say Happy Birthday. Father's Day, Mother's Day is easy, you know, and just go down through the phone.
The mama list.
Yeah, you get yours early because you're a D. If you're S or Y, I get to you later on. But
that's hilarious.
You know, but I make it a point to just to reach out because I mean it was back in the day we did that. It was in your heart.
You're right.
You knew, you know, you were around these people all the time, and you know, you knew everyone's phone. Like I'm starting to work on memorizing people's phone numbers.
Okay, it's probably good for your brain.
Yeah. So
I mean, the thing about it is that. You think, well, a lot of these people probably get a lot of texts, or maybe they get a group, you know, they get these mass texts and stuff. But the fact is, you never know, you know, they might need that
right.
Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day, Happy Birthday. I remember, you know, when my play auntie, Atala Shabazz, who's the Miss Shabazz, the oldest daughter of Malcolm X, she told me that when her dad was murdered, no one really checked on them.
Wow.
I mean, Harry Belafonte did. Obviously, they went and stayed. But, like, just in mass, everybody assumed that everyone else was doing it.
Wow. Okay.
And I took away a lesson from that, which is that, you know, go ahead and send love. Check on people, even if you think you're just a little cog in their wheel, because you might be the only one checking on him that year.
Yeah. I get a lot of response like, hey, thank you, man. Thanks for thinking of me and all that. But I mean, that's just how I was raised, too. I mean, coming from Philly, you don't walk in someone's house and don't say hello. You don't walk past. I mean, I get on the kids I coach all the time. You're just going to walk by me and not say hello?
Right.
Because if something happens, I'm here to protect you. I have to protect you.
Right.
So it's just, that's one of my little pet peeves. It's just, you know, saying good morning, saying hello. Even when I text, I say good morning first or good afternoon.
I feel
first.
like that kindness, and that stuff came to me from my grandma, my tiny grandma, my mom's mom, you know. Manners.
Right.
Manners.
Right.
But there's also a caring and a decency underneath that, which I feel like folks really need right now.
Oh my God. It's just, I mean, just the way that young people, and I know I'm getting on young people, just the way they communicate is just so abbreviated.
And it's not fair to get on young people because who's the rudest person in chief?
Well, yeah, he's in his own stratosphere of ignorance and rudeness. I mean, this dude is just.
You don't think it's contagious?
Well, I think it's I don't know if I want to use the word contagious. I would say it's Pied Piper-ish. It's jumping on the bandwagon. It's like, okay, where like when something happens, people don't think to help; they think to record.
Yeah, that's true. So, what did you take away from Joy Reid getting laid off, and Jonathan Capehart and Ayman Mohadeen and Katie Fang?
Well, I know it hurt a lot of people, men and women, when Joy Reid that news came out.
Yeah,
it was personal.
And you know the thing about, I don't know her well. I've interviewed her once. I like watching her show. She actually is a really kind person.
Really? Yeah. I mean, again, that guy that's up there, it's like all his cronies are going after people who want to tell the truth. I mean, that's where we are. That's why I tell a lot when people ask me about it, I'm like, okay, family first. Are you making sure that your family has everything that they need to battle what's coming? You know, do your children understand? Do your loved ones understand? Your wife or your husband or your partner, do they understand what the battle is so you can help guide them through it? You know, we more or less have been through this ignorance before. We've seen it at a whole, especially people who are in their 80s. They've lived it. They've walked it.
Right.
You know, if you're in your 60s, you understand it. If you're in your 40s, you got a glimpse of it. People who are in their 30s, 20s don't have a clue to what's coming. You know, and our thing is we know where this can go. You know, the thing is we're like, okay, first and foremost, I have to protect my family. I have to make sure like our children are anchored. And we did that. Okay, you're going to get educated. Okay, you're going to learn how to make sure that your benefits are right, but they're trying to take away all your rights. Okay, well, what are the rights going on in your home first? Again, just being kind, just checking on someone, making sure you set yourself up to where you can be cared for when you're older. Are you preparing, like right now, you can prepare your home to put a ramp in or to put guardrails in the tub for your family. Those little things are going to help you walk out the door, deal with the real world, because now I know my home is safe. I know, like, my parents are getting the right care. My dad's 88.
and we can no longer count on our government to do anything.
They're stripping everything. So if you're an able body, if you can teach your son how to build something, if you say this person, you don't have to go to college, you can take a trade. Now, this person I know has a trade, so you know what? We're going to trade off. We're going to barter. If you can come help my bathroom, fix my bathroom for my dad, I can help do your taxes.
Right.
So, and that's what we did. So I think we have to go back to that.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. We were talking about this yesterday. Are you team stay and fight, or are you thinking, like a lot of celebs, especially in your category, kind of are leaving, going to Portugal, France, Spain, Canada?
No, I'm just
Africa.
trying to get back to Philly every now and then, and make it out to Philly. No, I mean, I went on my first cruise. I had never done that. So I'm trying to do first things. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I've never been on a cruise.
Yeah, I'm trying different foods that move. I don't like that. The little different food. My kids are foodies, so I'm really give me 2 white pieces of bread and sandwich, mayonnaise, mustard. I'm good.
That's why your kids
provolone
are foodies.
cheese. Right. So I mean, I want to travel more. I want to, as far as leaving the country.
I mean, I'm talking about permanently. Like you just said, we know where this could go because at least we're, even if we weren't alive, we're students of history. We know what the McCarthy era was. We know, the targeting of activists that happened under COINTELPRO. I mean, I grew up with that. My dad was one of those targets. So, there can be a legitimate argument for getting out. Getting is good.
No, I'm not. A comedian friend of ours, Roy Flynn, has been living in Africa for years, and he hasn't come back. And I'm sure if I'm not educated enough to say I'm going to leave, and I don't mean school book educated enough to why I would leave or how I can leave. I think I've just learned about shea butter. So I mean, I would have to sit down with someone that I trust and say, all right, where should I go? How do I prepare myself to go?
But I mean, you read. You're a student of history. I'm not saying we should or shouldn't, but that it can get to the point where they take passports and close borders and people start disappearing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I have a close friend who believes in all of that, and we go back and forth. And
it's not believes, Lewis. My dad, during the so-called Newark riots, the police took him, they beat the crap out of him, and no one knew where he was. He literally disappeared.
Wow.
They wouldn't say. It was because of a group of white poets, the beatnik poets, Allen Ginsberg, my mom, and a bunch of other people, calling press conference and saying, where the hell is Amiri Baraka, that they finally produced him.
Wow.
With a big split open head. So, I mean, we're not talking about conspiracy theory. We're talking about things that have happened before in our country.
No, and I hear exactly what you're saying, and that's what I was saying about being more educated.
Right.
Of actually that fact, and give me another fact, and then I can base it. Okay,
they killed Malcolm X. Leonard Peltier just got out of prison after 50 years for being an American Indian activist. I mean, I'm not trying to sow paranoia because I do think we have more tools, and I feel like we have a responsibility to stay and defend the work that our ancestors did to build this country.
Yeah, I think I'm on that
Get
side.
Our reparations.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I'm on that side, but I am willing to fight the fight and be educated to know where I should stand.
Right.
And you go, that's your post.
I mean, it's the analogy is, watching the old Nazi movies and you're like, why didn't they leave? Why didn't they leave?
Right.
And we, are we at that point now, the way black people are being targeted, where like the writing's on the wall. Why are y'all still there?
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I was saying I think the most important thing is to make sure your home, whatever's left there, you can sit there and arm yourself and trust the people in there and then go fight.
Right.
Because if you got traitors in your home, you're going to be set up.
Shore up the fort.
Yeah.
The home base.
Yeah, so you can, these are my boys, okay? I can trust Fat Paul, Peanut, and Boogie that they're going to go down with me in Philly, but and Fred, but I don't know, okay, who's this new dude?
Right.
And that's what you look at. Like, there's a lot of new dudes, people like, and that was interesting with the Image Awards because there were a lot of young new talent, and I'm like, well, who is that? And they're dressed wearing something strange, but the people love them. And like, hey, guy yelled out, you don't know who that is? That's one of the most talented people in the world. Okay, now, I've known some of the most talented. We just honored Quincy Jones.
Right.
I would yell that he's the most talented person in the world. Okay, this guy is a rapper. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, on the other hand, we don't want to be those old people going, who that?
And that's what I was telling.
You ain't nobody.
And I told my buddy, I was like, if I ever... What I want now, I have to put an earpiece in and have someone younger tell me that's such and such and he's that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then I can say, hey, are you such a, hey, man, I really like it.
Or you can just do what I do and doom scroll on Instagram.
Right. So,
You meet a lot of people that way.
It's called what? Doom?
Doom scrolling, where you're just... Never mind.
No,
don't worry about it. I waste far too much time. I should not influence you in that way.
No, what is it?
Just scrolling, and you kind of get locked into this like hypnotic. It's kind of hypnotic, addictive rhythm of just scrolling and going down the rabbit hole of one fact or famous person after another.
Okay, yeah. See, I stumble on like news, and I go through the phone, then I catch myself like I gotta get off this.
Right.
I can't. I gotta go do
because your
something.
whole day will disappear.
Yeah, I gotta go do something real. I gotta go outside.
Yeah.
So that scares me because this phone is so addictive.
It is scary, but on the other hand, for you and I who have been here for a minute working, but still work.
Right.
It's good to kind of know who's doing what and who's talking about what.
How much of it is fact? See, that's what throws.
Yeah, but you can figure that out.
Okay,
we know how to figure that out.
Fair enough.
If you're really not sure, just Google search that or DuckDuckGo that bad boy, and you'll figure it out.
Yeah, because you can't ask your kids because they look at you like something's wrong.
No, or that you're a spy.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with these young. And one of my little things about my son has a new girlfriend, and I overheard them on the phone, and she was saying "bro" a lot. And I was like, yo, Lou, what's up with the bro? What do you mean? That's how we talk. I was like, seriously, man. When
everybody's bro.
I'm like, Lou, when you kiss her, does she say that was a nice kiss, bro? I mean, I don't get.
Don't worry about that.
Okay, that's what he said. That's what he said.
Don't worry about that. They got that.
He said that's none of your business. Don't worry. That's exactly what he said. And I was like, man, I was just asking.
So basically, I'm still a teenager at some level.
Right.
Lewis Dix is here, and it's a perfect time to call us 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed. I don't like it. When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
Fatherhood includes being present during pregnancy, delivery, and beyond, supporting your partner, and advocating for your baby's health. Black fathers play a key role in reducing maternal and infant health inequalities. Join the free AIM Fatherhood Program and make a difference. Visit blackinfantsandfamilies.org/fatherhood.
I have a dream today.
From the inventors who transformed our world to the activists who changed our nation, Their stories shaped America. This February, KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates Black History Month with powerful conversations, untold stories, and voices that need to be heard. Join us all month long for special programming that honors the past while inspiring our future. Black History Month on KBLA Talk 1580. Our history, our voices, our time. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Lewis Dix is my guest. We're going to try to do a lot right now with these last few minutes. I know you. Okay. Go ahead. It's fine.
No, I'm good. I just Miles is jamming though. And he gave me some shea butter.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
I'm still rubbing it.
Yeah, right. Because it's going to stay on you.
Oh, okay. That's what it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like Vaseline, except not toxic.
My knuckles look 10 times better already.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go to the phone then. Barbara from Orange County, you have the mic. You're on with Lewis Dix. Welcome.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just want to say, you guys are talking about fleeing the coop. There's a group, a lady that was originally from Altadena, a sister from Altadena. She lives in Portugal, her and her husband. They have a podcast called Our Black Utopia, and they teach people how to get citizenship in the different countries. They live in Portugal, in Lisbon, Portugal. And did you know that Spain and Portugal both have Black History celebrations and celebrate Juneteenth in a big way? I don't mean the small Black community. I mean the cities.
Yeah, my former hairstylist moved to Barcelona.
Wow.
Black man doing a booming business because apparently there's a number of Black folks, but not too many hair salons.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, but you got to have a plan if you're going to do that. I mean, I always say, I've been to Africa enough. I'm about to go on my 8th trip there. Do not go. Don't move there if you don't have a way to make a living.
Mm.
You know, don't just go there and wing it. That ain't a good idea. But that's interesting, Barbara. And I know more and more, a lot of Americans, not just Black Americans, a lot of Americans have moved to Portugal. Apparently the prices are pretty good. Same with Mexico City, to the point where they're getting sick of us in Portugal and Mexico City.
Hilarious.
But it's a thing. All right.
Podcast, they do all the things you need to do.
Yeah.
And also, for anybody who has not gotten their passport, even if you don't plan to travel, just get the passport anyway because they're starting to lock it down.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any indications of lockdown unless you're trans, but nevertheless, it's certainly a good piece of advice. My mom told me that when I was probably 6.
Wow.
When Republicans are about to win, go get your passport.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you get being raised by a radical mama. But we only have a few minutes left here, but I wanted to ask you about Mr. Cosby because you guys have this almost like a father-son, mentor-mentee relationship.
Yeah, I mean he's healthy. He's doing his health is good. He's we just converse. I usually have just a list of things that I want to talk to him about if I have questions about the art of comedy. Sometimes the life lessons learned, what's your thoughts on this subject? This has been placed in front of me. How should I approach it? And then I just, along with my dad, I'll call my dad. I call a couple. My dad's, 87, and then Dr. Cosby's, 87. So I'll talk. And my high school homeroom teacher, Mr. Scott, was 96.
You still talk to Mr. Scott. So, I mean, to you, it's outside of the whole Hollywood thing in a way. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people distanced themselves from Mr. Cosby during the, his case.
Right.
A lot of some really ugly stuff came out.
Yeah.
You never considered that.
No, I mean, I can. My daughter doesn't like that I talk to him.
Yeah.
That's been her opinion on it. And I understand everyone's opinion. This is just, like I say, I've known him for over 40 years, and I talk to him. It's like he is my family member, and the mistakes he made, or on him. He has to live with that. He has to deal with that. He's of course told me to make good decisions. He's counseled me in that way. So yeah, I love him, and I have a relationship with him. And it's this is probably the first time I've ever, if you don't know me, spoken about it. But my close friends know that I talk to him. But that part was for the courts to decide, and and people do come back with, well, what if it was your daughter?
Do you think that Mr. Cosby will ever perform again or make a comeback?
I don't know. I don't believe so. I just don't think America's going to allow him to take that microphone. I think they decided that the most important thing to you we will remove at that time, which was, I'm sure his family's the top tier, but after that, we're going to take away your voice, your microphone. And that's that's who he was. That was part of his art. That's just like them telling us we can't talk anymore.
Right. But as you said, he has his health. He's still wildly wealthy.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have his microphone.
Doesn't have his microphone. So I guess whoever's in charge up there decided that, and I'm saying above all of us, so this is where you're going now. This is what you've, as I always say, this is what you've earned in life, because you earn what you earn in life. Some people who are doing, like I was looking at the Wayans brothers, that family, what they've earned. What you look at what you've earned, what I've earned. Miles has earned shea butter, giving it to people. He's at that age.
He also has a great EP out. It's called Imagine That.
Oh, really?
Miles is a very talented rapper. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, see how humble he is.
Yeah, he is.
That's again, that's part of being an artist. He's here doing what he does,
right,
and then he gets to go be an artist,
right?
And that's what you love to tell young people who want to get in this business. Do what you have to do.
Be able to be like Miles and show up at 5:30 every single day to run the board for me, and then at night be out.
Be an artist.
Yeah.
That's
But not everybody's made that way. Not everybody is going to pay the cost to be the boss, as my friend Jim Brown, as my controversial friend Jim Brown used to say.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, my controversial friend. Yeah,
and my controversial friend is still a friend and homie.
Yeah, now that's wow, Miles. That's what you want for every parent wants that for their child.
Right.
Do what you need to do so you can go do what you want to do.
Handle your business, right?
Yeah, and they get up at 5:30, which means he has to be here at 5:30.
Yeah.
So that means he has shea butter, so we know he showers. So he has to get up like 4. Well, go ahead. What's your regimen?
Man, so lately I've been going to the gym before I come in. So I'm at the gym about 3 a.m., home by 4, shower, everything out the door, 5:30, I'm here.
What time do you go to bed?
About 9.
Except when he's got a show.
If I got a show, I got a studio, I'm doing something. But yeah. If I can, phone off 9:30. That's my goal.
It's mine too.
That's amazing.
Yeah, see?
That's amazing for someone his age.
Right.
You don't, like you were saying, you don't think that that's what they do.
But yeah, that's what, because we don't be knowing. Don't worry about that.
Right.
Lewis Dix, is always fun to talk with you. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing the mic.
Again, thanks for the invitation. And Miss Johnson, is it Miss Johnson that books your
Miss Jordan.
Miss Jordan. Yeah, thank her so much. She's so funny.
Yeah, she's about Miles' age too.
Is she?
I'm surrounded by millennials.
Well, she doesn't get up early. She's like, contact Miles. He'll open the bag for you.
Lewis Dix. Check out the It's a Man in a Man's World podcast, and hopefully we'll see you sooner next time.
Thank you.
All right. We've got news, traffic, and sports, and then more on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. The Trump administration may eliminate U.S. Africa Command, moving it under European Command to reduce bureaucracy and withdraw troops from Africa. Some officials warn this could create a vacuum for Russia or China. Responses to the email asking federal workers to list their accomplishments will be analyzed by AI to determine job necessity. Elon Musk stated that failure to respond would be considered a resignation. Senator Ted Cruz is subpoenaing the Massachusetts Port Authority for documents on sheltering migrants at Boston Logan Airport, calling it reckless and offensive. Lawmakers say this violated FAA grant conditions, leading to a policy change in July 2024. And Lester Holt will leave NBC Nightly News this summer to return to a full-time role with Dateline. NBC has not announced his replacement. This follows news that MSNBC will end Joy Reid's weekday evening show. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The CONCACAF Nations League finals arrive at SoFi Stadium March 20th to 23rd. USA versus Panama, followed by Canada versus Mexico. Get your tickets now on Ticketmaster. For more information, visit CONCACAFNationsLeague.com/tickets.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It's going to be an emotional night tonight for Lakers star Luka Doncic. First game for Doncic against his former team, the Dallas Mavericks, tonight at Crypto.com. Anthony Davis. This will be AD's first game against the Lakers since the trade, although he won't be in a Mavericks uniform.